Hello, hello Sagittarius. Welcome to your February 2019 overview reading. This will be good for you if you're a Sun, Moon, or Rising Sagittarius. So, if you are new to my channel, first of all, hello and welcome, and thank you for subscribing. And if you're not new to my channel, I am going to be doing something completely different this month. So if you haven't already seen the other videos, I'm just picking 10 cards. It is not a structured spread, and we're just going to see what comes up for you this month. So keeping it really loose, really flexible, which is not my typical style. And then moving on in future months, I will be back to normal. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to put these cards down. Okay, let's start with the truth bomb. For you, we have love is never regrettable. Now, that means primarily focusing on what it is that you love will never be regrettable. I mean, it's like even relationships that don't go well, it's like a lot of that is probably where you're healing and learning and growing. So just remember that you want to focus on loving yourself as much as possible through those experiences. And the farther away you move from love, it's kind of like you're gonna be getting tugged back to it the entire time. It's just about how fast you listen. So don't beat yourself up over this. You want to lean more into being loving, accepting, and kind to yourself the same way you would someone that you love deeply. Now I'm going to start pulling these and I'll just read as I go. We're going to see what comes up. So first we have the Nine of Wands. Okay, already starting off with this being a really fast month. Like you blink and it's over. And then we have Ace of Swords, new ideas, scoping things out. And we have the Empress, so Divine Feminine. This actually is looking like a person in your space. So we'll see how that shows up. Three of Swords, grief and loss, letting things go. And then we have the Moon here at the end. So it's clear that you're moving in a direction that is really unknown, that you're not totally going to be able to see where things are going or how things are happening. This is going to be a month where you're moving along, executing on your ideas, and then whether this be representative of you or someone in your space, that's just, I would ask yourself, like, what are you feeling? What's your intuition saying about the Empress? Is it you or is someone in your vicinity? Because that's going to be important. Now, whether this is someone who is supporting you with whatever it is, whatever this rupture is, right? Like the Three of Swords isn't always like a breakup. So many people like label it as a breakup card and really it's not. It can be like letting go of a project. It can be the loss of a friendship, or maybe that's something that's already happened and so you're just still feeling the effects of it. Now, as you have this vacancy pop up, because it looks like you're moving forward in a direction that feels right for you, as you have this vacancy happen, the Moon is naturally going to be what follows that. It's just kind of that empty space where you're not quite sure exactly what's happening. And that's what you have going on. I'm going to clarify this. I have the Eight of Arrows. So as you can see, like being bound and not really able to see what it is that's coming up or what exactly is happening for you. And so the Three of Swords is just reminding you that things are improving and things are leveling up, but that means that you have to say goodbye to the old stuff in order to access the new. And that's where the Eight of Swords or the Eight of Arrows is really pushing you to lean into faith a little bit more and trust the way things are unfolding a little bit more, because you can't totally see everything, but know that things are improving. That's kind of how, anytime you're working through something challenging or difficult, that's the perspective you want to take, just for your own sanity. If things were going bad and then you only focus on, well, things are going to get astronomically worse as time goes on, I mean, you're really setting yourself up for failure there. You want to focus on where things are going to be able to improve for you and what this space is really doing for you. And that's what this is encouraging you to focus on, because you start out with a really potent vision. Just remember that as you're growing, you've got to let old things die. And then we have 3 of Wands, so focusing on what's next, like what your next step should be and the direction that you're moving. And then we have the 2 of Cups. Okay, so some connection coming through here. And then we have the Knight of Coins. This is looking like a person as well. And then we have the 2 of Swords. And Queen of Swords. Okay, let me see what's on the bottom here. And you have the 10 of Wands. So this is the Overwhelm card. Now, hold on, let me listen here, because there's a bunch of stuff coming up. Now, whatever connection you have in your space, so whatever this person is, right, for the 2 of Cups or the Knight of Coins, so this looks like there's a person making an appearance. But you want to remember and remind yourself that where you're going is evolving. So that's part of what I think might be a little bit of a sticking point, is you're probably going to be looking at things and asking, you know, well, what's next? What am I doing? What am I building here? What am I creating? And that question is the very thing that's going to change, as you evolve and grow and do all of the work that you're doing. So that's going to be really hard to maintain if you're in the middle of a bunch of transitions. So what I'm going to remind you is to not get too locked into any perfection or anything that's too rigid. Like, really lean on your mutability this month, because it's going to help you. The 2 of Swords is that not being able to see what's coming up or what's happening as you're moving forward. But I think that it's just something where you kind of have to break through whatever it is you're going through now and take it one step at a time. And that's what the Queen of Swords is really highlighting here, is even if you don't know, you can just figure out what you want to do next, what's really in alignment with you, and you don't have to worry about 50 steps from now. There's probably going to be a knee-jerk reaction, like you want to be able to map out your next steps, but just don't get too locked into that, because it might not happen right away. I'm going to clarify what's going on with the 2 of Cups and Knight of Coins. We have 2 of Wands, so maybe you're waiting for that connection, that right person, that potential partner to come into your space, because the 2 of Wands is a waiting card. So this might be something that you're focused on but hasn't made an appearance quite yet, or that you're desiring to happen in February. Just know that there's a lot of other stuff that's happening this month. I think the focus for you is working on not getting too overwhelmed, or because it's going to cause friction. It's going to cause some resistance if you're going to be fighting yourself, trying to figure out what you want next, but also not knowing how to get there or how things are going to unfold, which is why you want to be really flexible with your goals right now. You can set a standard, but maybe you don't get too rigid on timing or when things are going to happen. That doesn't seem like it's going to be a good move for you. You want to make sure there's plenty of autonomy and flexibility this month. Just make room to improvise and to allow the right things to pop up in the right timing. You want to make space for that rather than trying to bulldoze your way to something that you want. That doesn't seem like it's going to be good, because the energies that you're working with are about, you know, revamping, readjusting, and breathing into empty space. Okay, I am going to pull one of these oracle cards. Embark. So it's kind of like you're pointing to the very thing that you're working towards, and you can start. Remember, the whole point of this is you can start, but two things when it comes to this. If things do not go according to plan, then you just improvise. You just adjust as you go. So leave room for that, leave it open, leave it fluid for yourself. And then things are going to shift and continue moving along. Just don't, and then the other piece of this would be, don't not take action because you can't see your next steps fully. You want to take action first, and then you can figure it out. It's just that you want to get the ball rolling and be flexible with how you do it. Okay, then I have repopulation. So it seems like whatever this Three of Swords is for you, you don't have to worry about that vacancy being there for long, because it looks like it's going to get occupied pretty quickly. I would say that's especially true if this is a relationship. The Three of Swords, it's kind of like, okay, if there's someone that really is on the verge of leaving, like if that is something that is happening, you can trust that that is all for you, and that it's being refilled with someone who's way more in alignment with you. Okay, then the word of the month. Incorporate. Weave in an unusual element. Bring all of your gifts together under one umbrella. Legitimize the endeavor. So however you needed to hear that is what makes sense for you. But I think that weaving in more of the things that you want is going to be a good way to handle this month. So just incorporate things that you love along the way. You know, so if you're finding yourself being out of balance when it comes to work, or maybe you've been playing too much and not focusing on work, I think incorporating more balance is going to be worthwhile for you. Now, I'm going to pull a Miracles Now card. I love my food loves me. Remember, you are what you eat. That is so true. And the way that you are taking care of your body is, I mean, that really is going to be a reflection of how you're loving yourself energetically and physically. So just use this as a way to nurture and care for yourself to the best of your ability. Food is really, really important for a lot of reasons. So it's worth focusing on this month if that's something that you may have kind of left on the table at some point. Okay, now let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to ask a question. You can focus on something that you've been wanting to know the answer to. Ask yourself card 1, 2, or 3. I mean, there's a bunch of things you can do with this. So just whatever works for you. Okay, card number 1. We have the 2 of Wands. So again, I like the idea of waiting for things to come in. I don't want to push that idea too hard because I really worry that people are going to take it as, oh, I'm waiting, and then perpetuate waiting. But I think that it's important for you to have patience right now. That's what the 2 of Wands is saying, is that you can want all these things, but they may not come in immediately, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they're not in progress. It doesn't mean they're not happening. It just means that they're still building. They're still materializing in the physical. Card number 2, we have Father of Pentacles. So this is about stability, having grounded finances, having more of a work focus this month. It doesn't look like a person. This is more looking like something that you need to embody, like someone who's really stable and diligent. Hang out with some earth friends. That's going to be really helpful. Just take your time and know that all of the hard work that you're doing is for a bigger goal. So let yourself just take advantage of that at this time. And slow and steady wins the race. That's what this card is all about. And then card number 3, we have the 10 of Cups. Beautiful, celebration, happiness, and enjoy yourself this month. If you picked this card, it's like enjoy what you have going on. That's going to be the best way to perpetuate more, is by just knowing that things are working out, things are going well. Celebrate the small wins, and that is what's going to make you keep things moving and keep things flowing regardless of your circumstances. Celebrate now, show gratitude now, work on just being grateful now. Okay, my friends, that is all that I have for you this month. I hope you've enjoyed this reading as much as I've enjoyed reading for you. And until next time, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you know all the links are in the description box. And what else? Oh yeah, love readings. The big love readings that are sign specific, those are all available on Patreon. They come out on the 1st of each month, so you're welcome to check that out. And I also have sign specific weekly readings that are on Patreon as well. So check all of those things out and have a beautiful February, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.